guys, I am so excited. So this video been on my mind for about a month. I could not wait. I was like, okay, my next video, I actually want to open up. I actually want to be vulnerable and I want to share my story. I want to do what my purpose is and within what I feel this is my calling and this is what I want to do and this is the why of my business. I want to step in finally. I had so many blockages. It didn't allow me to realize really what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. But a few weeks ago, I did realize, and I realized that it was really sharing who I am, my story, my life experiences, everything that I overcame, everything that I learned, everything that I achieved. I want to share it because I think it can help people, at least inspire. If I can inspire some people to go for what they want in life, no matter the stage they're in, then I'm happy. So first, an introduction about me. I'm Aziza. I'm from France. I moved to America almost 10 years ago. I graduated from a master's degree in finance back home and I wanted to come to America to be fluent in English. So initially I moved here for like 6 months to a year, and honestly I loved it here. I loved LA and I wanted to go deeper and further in my journey in America. So I did the associate degree in business after getting an English certificate. After my associate degree I did my bachelor degree, which is what I just graduated from a couple months ago. Along the way of studying, obviously, life been going on. I went through a lot of things while I was here. I was very much on my own. When I moved here, it was also my first time in America, so I had no idea of nothing. That was literally my first time on the territory. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have family here. I didn't came here on vacation prior to, so I had to learn everything. Like I was starting like a new life with no physical support and family support or friend support, and it allowed me to be really open and vulnerable and open to life and to whatever was coming to me, which was an amazing thing. I honestly loved my first years in America. I love my life, to be honest. I love my life. I have absolutely no regrets in life. I'm very grateful to feel that way and to be that way, to be at peace within, to appreciate my life no matter where I'm at, because I know it's a blessing and I know not everybody feels this way about their life. When you're not American and you're on a student visa, you have many restrictions. So I had to save up money to be able to live here without working, because you don't have the right to work. But anytime you graduate or during your studies, you have periods of time where you have the right to work. So anytime that was the case, I would work obviously and save up. So my life was always about being very smart with my money, very responsible, saving my money, think about the future and all those things. 2 years after I moved here, I lost my mom. My mom was my anchor. She was my best friend. She was my everything. She was really an angel on earth, and anybody that knew her would say the same thing. She was just this angel. There's nothing negative to say about my mom. So when I lost her, I basically lost myself. And I didn't realize the level of lost that I was enjoying and going through. So very quickly after losing my mom, I literally dived in busyness. That was my way of surviving the grief stage, just working all the time. If I wasn't working, I was out. If I wasn't out, I was at school. I was never alone, and I was never sitting still, and I was never just not doing anything, nothing. I was always doing something. And that's also when I started drinking alcohol. I had never drank alcohol. I had drank alcohol when I was like 16 for the first time, and that was my last time. Quickly after losing my mom, I was just going out. I was out all the time. If I wasn't working, I was out all night long, and I was drinking. Not drinking like getting drunk and crazy, destroying myself. No, that was never the goal. But I did find comfort in, being buzzed and being numbing my thoughts and my pain. That lasted about a year. And after a year of losing my mom, I got in a relationship, very committed, very serious relationship. And I hadn't had myself anymore. I did not know who I was anymore. I did not know who I was without my mom. That's what it was. I really did not know. It was so new. It was the birth of a new person, but I didn't took the time to look in and to figure out who is Aziza without her mom now. I just got really attached and fell in love and got in a relationship and lost myself even more, because now my whole love and attention and time I was pouring into my partner at a time. So it was a great love story. I have absolutely no regrets. Like I said at the beginning, I have no regrets in life, but I was very much wounded and hurt. There's a lot of things that I just didn't realize that was happening within me and in my life until I did start to realize, and I did start to think, you are not living your life right now. You are following and living with this person and you are going everywhere with this person, but what is your goal? What do you want to do? What is your aspiration in life? What are your passions? What are your interests? I just did not know who I was anymore. It's so much you can do and take until your inner self, until God really calls you back to reality. You get called back into the right path, I would say, and it's up to us to take the call or not. Eventually, I realized that I was not happy not being myself. Like, I had to find myself. I had to understand who I was as the adult me that doesn't have her anchor anymore, her everything, her best friend, her mother, that unconditional love that a mother provides. I had to give myself now. I had to find a way to give it to me. That's when a lot of things shifted and my relationship ended. And I started this inner work journey and this growth journey. It's really like this introspection journey. But it's weird because I didn't even really realize that that's what I was doing at the time. So I basically had to start over. I had to get a student visa again. I had to find a school again. I had to find an apartment. I have to find a way to make money. I had to find a car. It was basically start from the beginning. And to be honest, it was not easy to do because the relationship I was in, even the people around me didn't understand, because my relationship was really true love, deep connection, and I was provided for. I was pretty much set. I was at an age where, okay, now you can have kids and you can get married and you don't have to worry about money and all those things. So a lot of people around me just didn't understand and would literally tell me, because you're making a very big mistake by walking away from this. I'm not getting any younger. Good guys are not everywhere and blah, blah, blah. So it was very challenging, but I always went for what I wanted, despite other people's opinions, despite rules and despite expectations. I wanted to find myself again, and I was not happy. Bottom line is, I was not happy, and I wanted to make myself happy. Like, I always knew that you have to be happy within. It doesn't matter what you have and who you're with. And I'm not the kind that says, oh, money doesn't make happiness, or whatever the saying is. Money is a huge component in happiness and stability and freedom and safety. We're not gonna lie to ourselves here. But it's not the source of happiness. It makes your life better. It makes your life easier. It can help you on so many levels. But money itself doesn't make you happy. And we also know that when we think about all the rich people that end up killing themselves or that turn into drugs and overdose and suicide, money is not a guarantee of happiness. Anyway, I made the difficult decision and I had to start over. I'm sharing this because often we feel like we're stuck in the situation we're in for whatever reason. It can be a rich situation, like I'm with this rich guy, and if I leave, I'm gonna be broke. I don't know what's like life gonna be? If I leave this rich situation that I'm in, what the fuck am I gonna be? Where am I going? What is gonna happen? You know? But it can also be like you in a relationship where you experience abuse all the time and you still fear leaving the situation, because this is, even though it's a very difficult situation you're in, there's fears, there's doubts, there's other people's opinions, there's so many factors that come into play. And also our brain is always going to push us to the comfort zone. Even if the zone is not comfortable per se, it's still a comfort zone because that's what we used to, that's what we know, that's what we know how to handle, that's what we know how to be in, because that's what we've been in for a minute. I want you to know that whatever the situation you're in, whatever the place you're in, the job you have, the relationship or non-relationship you have, friendship, the country you live in, all those things matter. This is your reality. So of course it's gonna have an impact. Of course it matters. This is literally what you live. This is your life. But if you give yourself the faith within you, if you give yourself the love and the courage to change your surrounding by doing whatever it takes to change that surrounding, to change that situation, you will succeed. There is no doubt. I'm no special. I was not born in a rich environment. I come from a very modest family in a small city in France. My mom left her family in Algeria. Where my family is in Algeria, it's a very, very poor village. My mom found a way to leave, to make a life for herself outside of her roots and where she was from. And I kind of did the same thing, although I don't come from a third world country, although I don't come from poverty. I wanted more and I wanted what I wanted and I went for it. And I didn't have the rich parents and I didn't have family here. I didn't have nothing. I made it happen for myself, by believing in myself, by not giving up, by doing the research, by doing the work. You can't be lazy in life and expect to have your dream life. At some points, it might be phases, because everything is really cycles in life. It might be phases when you don't do anything and you rest, but there's also phases where you have to put into work, where you have to put effort into what you want and what you aspire to be and what you aspire to become. That's basically what I did. It's not easy all the time, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it. So I really encourage you to take the time to figure out the things that you want. If you have problems, take the time to figure out a solution instead of dwelling on the problems. Put your energy into finding a solution and you will succeed. You will find the solution for yourself. You will find the path for yourself. You just have to believe in yourself and have faith. I don't know how it is for people that don't believe in God. And if there is people that are very successful and they really truly don't believe in God, they don't believe in a higher force, they don't believe in nothing. I don't know. You can talk to them. I'm talking about what I know of and my own experience. Having faith and believing that you are protected, that you are guided, and things are gonna work out. I strongly believe that if I do what I have to do on my end, there is absolutely no reason that what I want will not happen for me, because I do my part, but I also know it's like a way bigger than me. And I know that I have God by my side at all times to make sure that I'm going to succeed. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get where I want to be. So nurture your faith within yourself, of yourself, believing in yourself, and your faith in the universe, the higher power, God's, whatever you believe in that is bigger than you. I really insist on that part because those are the biggest part for me that helped me overcome my biggest challenges. Although my biggest challenge was obviously losing my mom. Although I was very upset at God and absolutely did not understand, I still don't really understand why he called her back. But I never stopped believing. I was pissed, I was angry, I had to rebuild this relationship with God. But I never stopped believing and thought oh, God doesn't exist. My faith was always a part of my life and a part of me even when my faith wasn't love and positivity. After rebuilding myself from the ground up, finding a school and doing all the paperwork for my visa to be able to stay in America and continue pursuing my studies and continue growing and finding myself, was really on a mission. You need to find yourself. What are you even doing here? I had this moment where I couldn't see anything anymore. I couldn't figure out, why did I even move here? Why did I even make all those sacrifices? Why am I sacrificing right now family time and quality time with my nieces? Like, I'm missing out on birthdays, I'm missing out on sharing my nieces growing up, or my best friends and my goddaughter and my sisters, and I'm missing out on all the things that I value the most, which is family. And I just didn't understand why. Like, why am I missing out on this? Why am I wasting my time here when I could be spending quality time with the people that I love? That's when I started really digging into myself and doing introspection, figuring out, what do I want to do? What do I want to do in life? Do I want to stay here? If I want to stay here, what do I want to stay here for? So this is when my inner work journey started and my growth journey started. And fast forward to the beginning of the year, I was working, and a new year to be exact, I got fired. I got fired because I finally stood up for myself. So doing inner work, it's wild because it just happens. It's just layers. Sometimes you just don't realize it. I feel like the more you do inner work and the more you grow and the more you become more aware and you realize when things are happening. But honestly, at the beginning, I did not know. I did not realize. But looking back now, I know. I realized that I was standing up for myself way more than before, especially in a work environment. I used to be the perfect employee because I have a lot of experience, because I'm well educated, because I come from an environment where we are like that. We are very professional and dedicated and on time and honest and all those things. So I was just a dream employee. And my old boss knew that too. Everybody knows. People know when they have a good employee. They know. And you know they know because they rely on the employee a lot, and the expectations add. So anyway, guys, I started standing up for myself, and it cost me my job. And I say cost me with those because it really didn't cost me nothing. If anything, it cost me my freedom, which I'm so happy for, and I'm so grateful. When I got fired, it's wild because I did inner work, and I talk about this in another video of mine. When I got fired, not 1 second I cried or blamed myself or got worried. It felt like a relief, and it felt like a relief because I knew right there and then when it happened, I knew that it was a redirection. I knew that that job wasn't my job. Like, it was serving no purpose, and I wasn't aligned with this job. It was very temporary, and it had served its purpose. And now God was like, you know what? You might be scared to quit because you know you need to quit. But since you're scared to quit, I'm just gonna take you out of there. You're just not gonna have any choice. Boom, you fired. That's pretty much how I viewed this situation in that moment in my life. And it felt right, and it felt like it was just the right time. It was really the divine time. The more I'm doing inner work too, I'm really realizing the divinity of everything and how everything happens when it's supposed to happen. You can be very religious and you can believe in God as much as you want, but honestly, I doubt so many times. And now I'm like, wait, why are you doubting? If you're doubting so much, you gotta look at your faith, girl. Because if you believe in God the way you believe in God, if you say it's written, you already done, then why are you doubting? And why are you being so scared as soon as something happens, as soon as you have an obstacle, as soon as something that you didn't plan or you didn't want happens? If you're really faithful and you believe, you learn to surrender. And that's something that I'm working on right now. I'm a control freak. I do not want to surrender. This is something very, very challenging for me, but I'm working on it and I'm getting better. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting so much better by the day. So once I got fired on New Year, I knew my value. I knew what type of employee I was. I knew my skills. I knew my talents, my professionalism, my qualities. I decided why am I using all those positive forces to make someone else rich? Why am I using all those skills and all this professionalism and structurism and dedication to make someone else's dream come true? Why? I really realized I have everything. I have everything to build the life I want, to have my own business, to become rich, and to do what I want in life. That's when I took the decision. I'm betting on myself. I'm not making nobody else's rich now. I'm making myself rich. I'm working, I'm giving and helping nobody else dreams right now. I'm working on my dreams and I want to have a meaning in my job. I want my job and my career to have a meaning. It has to be deeper than me. It has to be deeper than just making money, paying my bills, going on vacation, going home, and just doing this every damn year of my life. Like, no, I refuse. My life has to have a meaning, a purpose. So that's when I decided to focus on figuring it out. Because I had no plans. Honestly, I did not expect to be fired, first of all. And second, I had just really started my inner work. So I wasn't deep in it to where I was so aware and so enlightened and I had healed wounds from the past and I'm so confident and I have this positive mindset now. No, that was not the case at all. So I decided to take the hard road. Per usual. But I think that the hard road and the obstacles and the difficulties are also making me so much more powerful, resilient, go-getter, believer. It feeds your confidence. It feeds your self-esteem. It feeds your self-respect. Every single obstacle that you overcome, every single challenging situation that you decide to go straight to instead of picking the easy path where you kind of sell your soul or you do things that you don't want to do and it hurts you within, but you know what, it's easier to do this. When you pick the challenging road to do the work, to stay true to yourself, it literally put water and food on that plant of your self-esteem and your self-respect and your confidence and your strength, because it does take strength to become who you want to become and to live the life you want to live, like to the fullest. I'm not talking about superficial level things. I'm talking about deep alignment and deep happiness within, true self-love. I had to split my video because it was too long. So that was the part 1 and I will be posting part 2 right after this one. But to conclude, I just want to finish by saying that I realized I had lost myself without even realizing it. But that realization became the turning point to me, and everything shifted when I lost my job this past New Year. That moment forced me to reevaluate everything, and it's where my story begins to change direction. And I will share more of this new path that I'm on and everything that I'm learning and overcoming and experiencing in my next video, part 2. So see you there and thank you for watching.